Assalamualaikum everyone. Okay, before heading towards the architecture of the database management system, let's look at some of the types of databases that we have. Okay, depending upon the type of data, the variety of data, we have got different types of databases. These are the few that I listed. We have got more apart from these. Okay, let's look at them one by one. Just a brief description about it. Okay, the first one is centralized database. Centralized database means what? It is a type of database where your data is stored at a centralized location. Okay, it is not with me, it is not with you, it is somewhere at a centralized location. Okay, so the plus point in this centralized database that we get is as it is kept at a centralized location, anyone anywhere can access the data. Okay, anyone from anywhere can access the data. Apart from this plus point, we have got many advantages as well. As the data is stored at one single location, the security is maximized, data integrity, data consistency, all these things. Okay, so this is done. Centralized data, it is kept at a centralized location and anyone can access the data. Okay, the next is distributed database. Distributed database is the opposite of the centralized database. The word itself says, right? Distributed. Distributed means what? The data is distributed across various systems. Okay? You have got various systems and the data is stored on, scattered in this various system or distributed on these systems. Okay, so yeah, this is opposite to that of the centralized database. Distributed system is opposite to that of the centralized. Centralized में क्या है? आपके पास data एक जगह पर पड़ा हुआ है. But distributed में क्या है? आपका data अलग-अलग systems में scattered है. ठीक है? Your data is scattered in various systems. And these systems are connected with each other via communication links or networks, you can say. Okay, they're connected. The systems are connected with each other, and your data is spread across these systems. Now, this distributed system, this distributed database is further categorized into homogeneous database and heterogeneous database. We know the word homogeneous and heterogeneous says what? Homogeneous means same and heterogeneous means different. So what is the same and this different? This same and this different. What are same and what are different? The operating system that we are using, the operating system that we are using, the hardware devices that we are using, the applications that we are using, that will be same under homogeneous database. The applications, the hardware devices and the operating system. Here this will be, all these three will be different. Clear? So what is the advantage of this distributed system? The expansions becomes easier. If you want to expand your database, ठीक है, आपका database काफी नहीं हो रहा, you want to expand your database, so all you have to do is what? Attach one more component, attach one more system to it. That's it, and that you can link that system with your databases, the other systems, right? That's how simple it is. The expansion is very easier. If you want to expand this, scale your database, if you want to make it flexible, you want to expand it, all you have to do is what? Just add one more system and connect that system using communication links and networks. Easy? Now, next is NoSQL database. आप चाहे NoSQL बोले इसको, non-SQL or not only SQL. All these three terms are same. ठीक है? So what does this mean? Not only SQL database मतलब you will not only have the data stored in the form of tables, but your data will be stored in all these categories. This non-SQL is further categorized into 4 types. One is key value storage. Key value storage matlab what? Your data will be stored in the form of key values, keys, or the attribute name you can say. So what happens here? I'll say that later. The next is what? Graph database. Your data will be stored in the form of graphs. Then you have got documents. So your data will be stored in the form of documents. The next is white column stores. White column stores matlab your data will be stored in the form of a table where the columns are they are white columns. Okay, you will not be having rows there. You will be having instead wide columns. Okay, bade columns you will be having instead of having rows. Okay, so here what happens here? What's the advantage here is that, see, as the data is stored in many different forms. See, for example, key value storage, we'll talk about it. If you want to access the data, all you have to do is what? Just enter the key value or the attribute name. You will get your data, right? Yeah. So, as you can see here, the data is stored in many different forms. So, why are we using this non-SQL database? Matlab, we can easily say, if you have got variety of data sets, then this non-SQL database is very useful. Okay, clear? Easy? Now, Next is cloud database. I think we are familiar with this cloud database, cloud computing. So here what happens is the data is built and accessed through a cloud computing platform. ठीक है, मतलब क्या, your data is stored at a virtual environment. It is stored at a virtual environment, and you can it provides you with various services, cloud computing services. ठीक है, चलिए I'll give you an example. The best example for cloud databases are your Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure we have, and what do we have? Google Cloud, right? So all these are the examples of cloud databases. What is the advantage here is that along with the features, along with the features of the traditional database, you'll have some additional flexible features in this cloud databases. Okay, clear? Next is network database. If we talk about network database, network C, it will have network data models. Okay, in the network database, it is represented with the network data model. Matlab, in network database, your data is present in the form of nodes. Okay, your data is stored in the form of nodes, and these nodes are connected with each other via links. Simple, right? Network matlab you'll be having a network, a connection between the nodes. Your data is stored, the data is stored in the form of nodes, and these nodes are connected with each other via network or via link. Okay, next, object-oriented data model. If you know about object-oriented programming, this will be easier for you to understand. Here, what you will do in this database, you'll be using object-oriented data model. Matlab kya, your data will be stored your data will be stored in the form of objects. Okay, so this is done. Next is hierarchical data. Object oriented data model, I'm just giving a brief description about it. Okay, just for you to have an idea that we have got various forms of databases. Okay, so object oriented means you'll be having what? Object oriented data model. Okay, your data will be stored in the form of objects, and all the object oriented ke advantages, the properties you'll get, whatever properties that we have in object oriented programming, all these properties you'll get under this object oriented database. Clear? Okay, next is hierarchical data model. Hierarchy matlab kya? You have got levels. Okay, this is a diagram here. Hierarchy matlab you have got levels, level 1, level 2, level 3, right? This is in the form of parent child. Okay, parent child design or parent child format, you can say. Suppose this is a parent, so these are the childs. Suppose this is a parent, so these two are the childs. Okay, so if you observe here, what happens? If this is a parent, you have got single parent and multiple children, right? Single parent, multiple children. But each child, suppose this is a child, this child has got only single parent. Parents can have multiple childs, but child cannot have multiple parents. Okay, it is in the form of what? Like a tree. It should be the level 2.1 and level 2.1 was supposed to be here. Jaga nahi thi, so that's why that's why I wrote it down. Okay, so done, clear. So hierarchical matlab you'll be having the database will be stored in the form of an hierarchy. Okay, in a tree-like format, in a tree-like structure, where in a parent-child format, where the parent can have multiple children, but the child cannot have multiple parents. Clear? Whereas it is opposite to that of the network model. Network model means you can have multiple parents and multiple childs. Okay, I told you it will be in the form of nodes, and the nodes will be connected via links or networks, right? So you can have multiple parents and multiple nodes. Sorry, multiple children. So it is opposite to that of the hierarchical model. Clear? Next and the very important is what? Relational database. Relational database matlab what? I told you in the previous video, relation means what? Table. Okay? Your database will be stored, your data will be stored in the form of what? Tables. Tables mean what you will have? You'll have columns and you'll have rows. That's how simple it is. Relational database means your data will be stored in the form of tables. Okay? Table has got what? Rows and columns. Clear? And we have got asset properties which are very common in relational data model. Asset properties matlab kya? Write it here. ACID, asset properties. Okay, relational data model is commonly known for this asset properties. Asset properties matlab what? A stands for atomicity, C stands for consistency, I stands for isolation, and D stands for durability. Ab atomicity matlab kya? I told you this as well in the previous videos. Atomicity means what? I give you the example of transactions over there. You want your transaction to be either to execute fully, completely, or you want to abort the transaction. You don't want it to happen at all. ठीक है, इधर आपका ट्रांजैक्शन पूरी तरह होना चाहिए या बिल्कुल ही नहीं होना चाहिए. ठीक है, so that is nothing but the atomicity problem. ठीक है, you want your transactions to happen completely or you don't want it to happen at all. Okay, so it is what do you say, all or nothing. ठीक है, all or nothing strategy you can call it as. Okay, the next is consistency. You want your data to be consistent. You will take the example of again transactions. See, suppose you have in your bank you have got 15,000 rupees. You have withdrawn 10,000 rupees. So what should be the amount there? 5,000, right? So the before and after transaction value should match each other. Okay? If you have withdrawn 10,000 rupees, but the amount is showing there what? 0. Suppose I'm saying if the amount is showing there 0, then what happens? The data is not consistent there. The data is not matching, right? Before and after transaction values are not matching. The data is not consistent. So, but relational database is well known for this, for its consistency. Okay, you have got consistency in your relational data model. There is one more thing about relational database. First I'll finish this. Atomicity is done, consistency, isolation and durability. What does durability means? Durable, your data should be durable. मतलब क्या? Durable मतलब क्या? Once you have made changes to your database, the changes should remain permanent. ऐसे नहीं कि you have shut down the system and your data is like, you know, back to normal. No. If you have made any changes to the database, the changes should remain permanent. Unless and until you are explicitly making any changes further. ठीक है, तो आप जो changes किए हैं आपके data को, that should be permanent. Clear? Now, so asset properties are done. So this relational database is well known for its asset properties. One more thing about relational database is that in relational database, why is it so common, or why is it so famous or whatever? Why? Because in relational database, as you are storing the data in the form of tables and each table are connected with each other, you have got relationships between the tables. Okay, you have got many tables. It's not like एक ही table है आपके पास. You have got many tables and those tables are connected with each other with what? Relationships. ठीक है. And one more thing is that, yeah, in relational database the data will be stored uniquely. How? You have got something called as key concepts. Okay, you have got key concept. Using that keys, your data will be stored in a unique fashion. ठीक है, मतलब आपका data duplicate नहीं हो रहा. ठीक है, your data is being stored uniquely with the help of key concepts. We'll study that in detail in the coming classes. All you have to know is for now is that in relational database we are using what? We are storing the data in the form of tables, and that tables in that the data being stored in that tables are what? Is being stored uniquely with the help of key concepts. Keys, K-E-Y-S. Okay, unique keys, primary keys, all these keys we have there. Okay, so what's happening here? The advantage I can say you, as the data is being stored uniquely, what's happening? Data redundancy is not there, it is minimized. Your data is not being duplicated. If your data is not being duplicated, your data is being consistent, is more consistent. The less your data is redundant, the more your data is consistent. Clear? So this was just a brief introduction to the types of databases that we have, just to make you familiar with the types of database. We have got many different types. Apart from these types, we have even what? Personal database. There the database personal, आप समझ सकते. It is used to store what? The personal data, or it is meant for only a single user. ठीक है, personal database. We have got enterprise database. Enterprise database मतलब that will be used when you have got a massive amount of data. ठीक है, for a whole enterprise. ठीक है, the database needed for a whole enterprise, a complete enterprise. And you have got one more is operational database. There real-time operations to handle all the real-time operations. मतलब, for example, transactions will take over once again. The per day transactions happening, to handle that we have got operational database. So many databases we have. Some here I listed. Okay, so I think it is clear. It is very easy. Just थोड़ी सी theory है that you need to know. Okay, a little bit of concept. That's it. So your data is stored in all these fashions. Okay, in the next video we'll see the architecture to the database. After that we'll continue with the further topics. Hope you all understood this topic. Thank you.